Hello and welcome to Theater Etiquette. This is my second theater etiquette video. I did one last season and I'm doing another one again this season. It seems like I have to make these videos every time I stand in the line for rush tickets early in the morning. And this time I wanted to see Rocky Horror Show. It was opening in a few days, so I went Tuesday morning to see if I could score a $30 rush ticket. I rolled in about 9 a.m. The box office opens at 10 a.m. There were already about 10 people in front of me. I was like, probably not going to get a ticket, but let's just see. So the people went through. I didn't get a ticket, but I asked the first person who was online, I said, what time did you get here? And she said, I got here about 6:30 a.m. Good to know. And I asked the box office. I said, how many tickets did you give out today? And she said, 7 tickets. And I said, how many do you usually have? And she said, anywhere between 5 and 20. And I said, tomorrow's Wednesday. Are you giving out tickets for both shows? And she said, actually, the matinee is a student matinee, so we're not doing rush tickets. We're only doing for the evening. So I walked away, did the math in my head, and I was like, you know what? If I roll in around 7 a.m., I should be fine. So I set my alarm, rolled in on Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. There were already 3 people in front of me. So I figured each person get up to 2 tickets. It's 2, 4, 6. If there are 7 tickets, I should get one. So I was like, let's go ahead and get online. But first, maybe I should ask these people how many tickets they're getting and if they're going to let anyone cut in line with them. So I asked the first person online, I said, what time did you get here? He said 5 a.m. I was like, wow, that's great. And I said, how many tickets are you getting? He said 2. And I said, okay, and are you going to let anybody cut in line? And he said, oh, I have a friend coming. And I went, yeah? And he's like, yeah, he's on his way. And I went, okay. And then I went to the next guy, 2 tickets, next guy, 2 tickets. So then I'm standing there in line thinking, that's 7 tickets in front of me. Meantime, more people are lining up behind me. His friend hasn't shown up. I'm stewing. I go on ChatGPT and I say, ChatGPT, what should I do in this situation? And it said, it's better to address the situation sooner than later. So I said, hey, guy at the front of the line, been thinking about it. It's not cool that you're going to let your friend cut in line. Look at all these people who came earlier than your friend. And he said, well, other people do it. And I said, yeah, but that doesn't make it right. And then we had a back and forth about it for a few minutes. And he finally was like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. And I said, yeah, I don't want to talk about it either. So normally when I address people on their bad behavior, they do better. This guy, no, he was doubling down. He was going to let his friend cut in front of everybody because he thought that was his right. So his friend finally rolled in right around 8 a.m. There's more than 10 people in line now. And this guy had told me that his friend was only going to buy 1 ticket. So I was just being like, okay, maybe it won't make a difference. But it does. It makes a difference. For one person will not get a ticket who would have otherwise. So I said to him, I said, hey, when the box office opens, I'm going to find out how many tickets there are. And then we'll see. So box office open, I ran to the top of the line. I said, hey, box office person, could you just tell me real quick, how many tickets are there? And she said, I have 6. 6. And I said, okay, we have a problem because this guy cut in line of all these people. And she said, I'm sorry, but we can't monitor the line. So I went back to my spot, stewing. And this guy who let his friend cut in line, did he let him cut in front of him? Oh no, he let him cut behind him. So first guy bought 2 tickets. Guy who cut in line bought 1 ticket. Next guy bought 2 tickets. That's 5 tickets. Next guy in line said, I want 2 tickets for the matinee. And she said, oh, we don't have tickets for the matinee today, just the evening. And he said, oh, okay, never mind. And got out of line. And I got the 7th ticket. Ah, theater gods be praised. But I wanted to bring my friend, and I would have been able to bring my friend if the guy hadn't cut in line. And the guy behind me, assuming I was going to buy 1 ticket, he lost out on a ticket. I guess he was like, oh, well, I wasn't going to win either. But help me process this, please, because I was so angry at when people do things that are wrong. They know it's wrong. Everyone in line knows it's wrong. And why does no one stand up and say something? In retrospect, I think ChatGPT was wrong. I think I shouldn't have addressed the guy who was holding the spot because holding a spot is not a thing. I should have addressed the guy cutting in line. When he cut in line at 8 a.m., I should have said, hey, there's a line here. And he said, oh no, my friend was holding me a space. I'd be like, that's not a thing. Me and this other guy who had been in line, we were here on Tuesday. So, hey, we can go to the front of the line, right? Because we've been waiting since yesterday. So what are the rules? We understand the rules. Everyone understands how a line works. Now, I get it if you're waiting for the bathroom. The bathroom has unlimited resources. Everybody can pee. So if someone cuts in line with their girlfriend or whatever, I don't care. Everyone's going to get to pee. But when you know there's a limited number of tickets that are being sold and people who come earliest get the tickets, letting someone cut in line with you is blatantly wrong, and there's no way to justify it. Am I wrong? Justify it in the comments below. Now, when I was going to tell this story, I was tempted to change one small detail that if I was writing this as a play, something I would have changed. So the guy who was in front of me didn't buy a ticket because he wanted tickets to the matinee. But what would have been more interesting in a narrative perspective would be if that guy wanted 2 tickets for the evening show, but only one was available. And because there weren't 2 available, he decided to not buy a ticket. That would have been a really cool twist, because then it would have meant that I would have gotten a ticket because the guy cut in line. So, when I turn this into a play, that's what's going to happen. But that being said, being a person of principle, even if him cutting in line meant that I would get a ticket, he shouldn't cut in line. And good thing I got that ticket, because I was ready to run someone down and steal their ticket. Okay, I don't want to get physical. But anyhow, what is the solution to this problem? And I thought, okay, maybe next time this is what I'll do. Let me know if what you think about this. Put on a black shirt, got lots of them, and wear a name tag. It says, "Hi, my name's Matt." And then I could go and I could say, "Good morning, welcome to the Rocky Horror Show." This is my tough guy voice. "Thank you so much for coming this morning. All right, so this is for rush tickets. We don't know how many are available yet, but each person in line will be able to buy up to 2 tickets. One for you, one for a friend. And it's in order of who came and is waiting in line. Okay, we understand that? Let me just ask you, first person in line, what time did you get here?" 5 a.m. Wow, that's great. You're really dedicated. I'm sure you're going to get a ticket. So let me ask you, are you going to let someone cut in line with you? No? Good for you. Next person in line. So how many tickets are you going to get? 2? Good for you. Okay, same question. Oh, what's that? Oh, you got a friend coming. They're on their way. Yeah, but the thing is, these other people are already in line. Your friend ain't here. What time did you get here? 6:30 a.m.? That's when they should have come if they wanted to stand in the spot on line. So your friend's going to have to get on the end of the line. All right? We clear? Everybody clear on the line? That's how lines work. I don't know. Would that work? And then I'd go get in line like does he work here? Does he not? I'd then go get in line and be like, yeah, I'm here. I'm here in official capacity to make sure this line runs correctly. I don't know. Am I insane? Yes. Let me know in the comments below. Have you had this experience? Have you been someone who lets people cut in line with you? What would you do in this situation? Would you start a fight? I want to hear from you. All right. That has been my second theater etiquette. And hopefully there won't be any more, but there probably will be. All right. Bye.